Hello boys, girls, and non-binaries alike. Welcome back to my channel. A slightly different background is my kitchen. Just sitting at a different spot. Today's video is a little more serious. One of the serious ones I've wanted to do for a while. I just didn't really know how to do it. And this still might not be the perfect way to do it, but I'm just gonna go for it, I guess. It's something that is personal, so it's something that I've personally experienced. And even if you haven't experienced it, it's something good to talk about. And it's a type of bullying. So bullying in general is wrong and should be totally taken away, but it's something that seems to be very hard to remove, which is unfortunate. I feel like schools should ban it. Like, if a kid bullies someone, they should get in trouble, not just like detention or something, but maybe something more severe, because they're putting another human being at risk of severely hurting themselves, and half the time they don't even care. Maybe even more than half the time. But a specific kind of bullying that seems to be more negatively effective than a lot of bullying is bullying someone for their size, like how big they are. I don't mean tall, I mean like chubby to fat, because just because you have a little fat on you doesn't automatically make you like obese, But even if you have a little bit of fat on you, people will make fun of you for it, and it's very bothersome. So the reason I wanted to choose this particular kind of bullying over the others is because, like I said, this is one that I have experienced personally. And it's very interesting. People talk about all the time how if someone gets bullied for their size, they could very easily start starving themselves and could very quickly become anorexic and very easily die from that, because anorexia is extremely dangerous. And it is something I've never actually gotten anorexic, like 100%, which is good, because obviously that's bad to become anorexic. But I slowly was becoming closer and closer to anorexia. So when I was in high school, middle school through high school was when I really got bullied a lot. Actually, I was bullied in elementary school too for the same thing, but it got worse as the grades went. It got worse. And there's something recently that I noticed while I was looking through some old photos of mine from when I was in high school and elementary school and all these things. And something that I noticed that was very interesting to me was I wasn't obese. I wasn't fat. I wasn't model thin, but I wasn't fat. I was pretty skinny. Not like model thin. I had a little chub on my stomach, but I wasn't fat. And it's very interesting just thinking back to when I was in high school and elementary school, and just remembering how obese I thought I was. Like, currently I am actually bigger now than I was in high school. And that's due to a lot of depression from bullying mixed with a lot of other stuff that happened in school, which I can go into that another time if you really want me to. But for now, I'm focusing on that. So right now I am bigger than I was then. I looked at some old IDs and stuff to figure out what all that information was. And in high school, I was around 130 pounds. And that's pretty thin. For certain people. If you're shorter than me, it could be normal for you, but for me, I personally am 5'2". Sorry, I just hit my microphone. I apologize if that made a bunch of sound. I personally am 5'2", and the healthy weight for someone who is 5'2" is around 180 pounds. So I was 130, so I was actually underweight by several pounds. But I thought I was just so obese. I thought I was fat. I thought, it's weird that actually works, and that negativity thing actually works when people make fun of you for being fat, and you look in the mirror and you actually see a fat person. And it just blows my mind in a way, because I wasn't fat. I was underweight. I was skinny. I was on my way to becoming anorexic. And yet every time I looked in the mirror, I saw an obese person. And it's just weird thinking about that and looking back on it, and just like, I wasn't even close to obese. and then realizing just how badly that kind of bullying actually affects you. Because I remember times when I would starve myself. At one point, I believe it's called binging and purging. Please correct me if I'm wrong with that term, but it's when you eat something and then you puke it back up before it has a chance to digest. And I had that for a long time, and then I started starving myself, and it was really, really bad. My body, I was skinny, but I wasn't healthy. I was doing a lot of bad things to my body. This is something that happens to a lot of people in school, but unfortunately, most of them don't get out of the bad situation as quickly as I did. I was able to get out of the situation. I mean, I was in it for years, but my weight fluctuated because the people around me wouldn't let me do that to myself. So even though I did get away with it once in a while, a lot of the times they would pretty much force me to eat if I was starving myself, or force me to keep it in my stomach if I was binging and purging. Most of them wouldn't allow me to do that, which is why I never became completely anorexic. But there are a lot of people that don't have that support and aren't able to get out of it fast enough. I wasn't out of it fast enough, but I had support. Those people that don't have support, they very quickly become anorexic. And if nobody helps them, obviously they die. And it's a very painful death. Nobody should die from bullying, suicide, nothing like that should ever happen. But I feel like the one that's probably the most painful for the person, for the individual. Well, I should say more painful than bullying, because bullying is painful, but even more painful for the person is to starve themselves and become anorexic. It's a very painful path, and it's not good. It's both mentally and physically painful. One thing that a lot of people do that have an eating disorder, whether it's binging and purging, starving themselves, whatever it may be, and they're, causing themselves to become anorexic because of bullying, or the exact opposite, which is overeating because of bullying, because some people, rather than starving themselves, they find comforting food instead, so they end up overeating rather than starving. Both ways are obviously very dangerous. If you have a friend, family member, or even just someone that's in your class or whatever, you don't even have to know them. If you know that they're going through struggling, if you know that they're struggling with anorexia, or they're struggling with obesity because of bullying, or even if it's not bullying, even if they just do it because they don't know any better, because some people unfortunately don't. With anorexia, I feel like you have to know if you're anorexic, because you're not eating enough. But if you're overeating, you may not be paying attention. You notice you're gaining weight, but I don't know. I feel like overeating has two different paths. Sometimes there's a reason for it, and sometimes they just want to eat and never stop. But either way, you should help them. And obviously, do not be a dick. Do not go up and be like, "Well, you're fat, lose weight, do whatever." Be a dick to them. That's not going to help them. That's just going to make them go eat more. And an anorexic person, I don't know, you don't want to scare them right away. That's the way that I would put it. If someone tells me that I'm gonna kill myself because I'm starving myself or whatever, I may not listen. I don't know. To me, it feels more like bullying rather than helping, even though you are trying to help. Just, I guess it's the way you say it. I suppose if you say it in a certain way, maybe better than another. But it's better to be comforting to that person. Obviously not encourage what they're doing, of course, but be there for them, be there to help them without being a dick. I really hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's really important. Even after I got out of high school and no longer had someone constantly there bullying me about my weight, I still had problems with it. I still struggled to believe that I was pretty. Sorry to set my microphone again. I struggled to believe that I was attractive in any way. I struggled to believe that I had any worth, and I went from starving myself to overeating because I don't know, food became my comfort. Just like I was talking about before, food becomes some people's comfort. For me, after a while, I went from starving myself and realizing how much I hated having my stomach rumble and feel pain to overeating because food made me feel good. And that's why I'm the size I am now, because I've been overeating for so long. I'm no longer in the situation that I was in, so I am starting to lose weight again in a healthy way. I'm no longer starving myself or binging or anything like that. I'm losing weight naturally in a very healthy way now. And I apologize if this wasn't put in the best words. I'm not the best at this. I try. I really like helping people, and I don't like seeing people suffer. I don't like it. Just be there for your friends or your family or whoever you know is struggling with that, and help them fix it without being a jerk. You know, don't be the bully that they already are used to having. You know, like I said, don't go up to them and like make fun of them for how they look and then expect that to work. It's not. You have to be nice. You have to be there for them, and also, don't expect it to work overnight. Do not expect to have one conversation with them and then automatically they're going to stop starving themselves or they're going to stop overeating. It's a process that could take many years. So you have to be there with them the entire process for them to, because it's not going to happen overnight for them to change their habit. It's going to take years for them to change that habit of overeating or starving themselves or whatever they may be doing. So, you have to be there for them. You have to be there to just, you have to be there for them. And over time, not only will they get better, but they will definitely thank you for all the help that you gave them. And I just have to say to my friends, my personal friends, I just have to thank you so much for always being there for me and keeping me from starving myself, keeping me from overeating to a serious point, because I did overeat, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been if there was no one there to help me. And thank you for constantly being there with me for everything. I am getting better. But yeah, I know that I'm not the only person who's made a video like this, and I shouldn't be the last person either. This is something that's very serious and needs to be talked about with as many people as it can until it gets across everybody, until everybody just listens and stops doing, stops bullying. When that happens, we can stop making these videos. If you guys enjoyed, please pass the message around. Make your own video if you want to, get this message across until it gets to the point where we no longer need to make this video. And then we'll all be good. So, I'm not going to do my usual outro, just thank you guys. You're welcome to tell me your stories below if you really want to.